a news channel, and let's keep the visuals of the previous debate on. As a news channel, viewers, let me tell you very, very clearly, Times Now has always stood against religious violence, intolerance, whether it is from the Hindu side or the Muslim side or the Sikh side or any religion in this country. We have a long-running campaign called India Against Hate, which we fall back upon to call out any sort of hate. Point one. Point two, it doesn't matter whether it's the BJP or the Congress. Number three, Times Now will not keep quiet if governments look to give clean chits to rioters because they are bound by political compulsions. We will call them out, whether it is north, south, east, west, anyone's government. It doesn't matter. Surrendering to mob justice is to surrender the integrity, the sovereignty of the country, and that is not acceptable. We were talking about integrity and sovereignty. There is one organization that upholds it, and that is the armed forces of this country, the military. And I'm transitioning into my second debate. The government today has rolled out a radical short-term recruitment scheme for the armed forces. The policy has been named Agnipath, and under the new model, youth will be inducted as AGNIVEERs, a new distinct rank. They will also wear a distinct insignia on part of their uniform. The soldiers recruited under Agnipath will be released from service after 4 years. Not all of them, 75% of them, 25% of them will be retained. And the new system will have a provision for viewers, a round of screening. And after that, they will be given a severance package of over 11 lakhs. However, they will not be entitled to pensions. The ones retained will serve in the defense services for another 15 years and will be entitled to pensions. At the launch, Defense Minister and Tri-Services Chiefs hailed Agnipath as a key step towards making the army youth-oriented, modern and tech-savvy. The announcement has been welcomed by the youth across the nation as it only gives them an employment opportunity with steady income, but also a chance to serve the country. However, the opposition is not so optimistic about the scheme. They're calling it a policy that offers just part-time jobs and is meant to fool the people as they battle unemployment and poses a threat to national security. As if you are serving your country, serving your Desh, serving your Bharat Ma can ever be a part-time job. Nonetheless, viewers, this is what is being said, and I want to open this up. Shehzad Poonawalla, General Kulkarni, General Bakshi, Colonel Nain are all with us. I want to first begin with Shehzad Poonawalla. Mr. Poonawalla, it is being said that this chance to serve India that the Modi government wants to give the youth is an ill-thought-out scheme that will weaken the forces, number one, especially the army. Number two, it is a joke of a job opportunity because 75% of these people who are taken in will be let go of without any job future guarantee. And third, it only leads to part-time service, so no real commitment to the country for money. How do you respond to all of these?
First of all, Rahul, I'm not surprised by the people who are doing siyasat on Agnipath. These are the people who've doubted the surgical strikes. They've doubted the Balakot airstrikes. They have blamed the Indian forces for Pulwama. They are the ones who said, did the armed forces kill more civilians? Then they killed terrorists. They are the ones who went and hugged Bajwa. They call these army chiefs Sadak Ka Gunda. So today when they do politics and siyasat on Agnipath, I am not surprised and I don't think anybody takes them seriously. But having said that, let me come to today's issue about Agnipath and Agniveer. This is a transformative historical initiative that has been taken that will lead to our forces becoming leaner, meaner and a future-ready fighting force. Why do I say this? Today our forces, a bulk of it come from a few states, a few regions and needs a little more diversification. It needs a younger age profile. By this entire move, the age profile will come down by 4 to 5 years, I'm told. That will mean that our forces will be fitter and more tech savvy. This is also going to lead, once these people exit from the forces, to a creation of a modern, disciplined and a very well equipped and well skilled workforce. But let's assume that the person joins at the age of 17 and a half and he exits at 21, 22. That's the age when you join a government service typically, or you can join till 28, you have 6 to 7 years. But when you exit from this service, you are leaving with a skill, you're leaving certificate of 12th standard at least, you're leaving with a discipline, you're leaving with a sense of national spirit, a commitment to Naam, Namak and Nishan, and then you are absorbed 25% at the beginning into the permanent service. Or if you're not even absorbed there, you have an opportunity into the paramilitary forces, into the government services, or you have an opportunity into the private sector, or you also have an opportunity to start your own business, because by the end of this, you're going to have a bank account which has 11.7 lakh rupees tax-free in the form of Seva Nidhi. Now, let me also address certain other questions that have been raised. Those who are saying that this is going to weaken the forces. No, in fact, this is going to allow our forces to become more modern and more tech savvy. World over, if you see the age profile of many of the forces, the United States and other developed countries, it is on the younger side. Also, many other countries also have short service commission. This reform is not a one-off reform. There are many senior people sitting here. You will see the series of reforms done by the Modi government in the last 8 years, and you'll find that whether it is OROP, 42 years hanging, it was done by Mr. Modi. 42,000 crores have been paid in OROP. National War Memorial hanging for 50 years, done by Narendra Modi.
Okay.
CDS, a demand that was there for creation of that post, done by Narendra Modi.
Okay. So
whether it is modernization of weapons, whether it's the Rafales, the Apaches, the AK-103s being indigenously manufactured here, whether it is the submarines that were procured,
sure.
Even 1.86 lakh bulletproof jackets were not procured for 10 years. That was done by Narendra Modi.
Those are other
so
schemes.
This government, in fact, has increased
Let's
the
talk
capital
about
outlay.
Okay, so you're saying it's reformist.
It has increased the capital outlay by 19%, and this government has invested in Atmanirbharta.
Okay, fair. Those are other stuff. Let's not confuse issues here. All those things are well taken, etc., etc. Let's not confuse issues. We're talking about Agnipath. Let's stick to Agnipath. Yes.
But I'm talking about the larger reforms that have been done in the defense sector.
Sure, fair enough. I get it. General Bakshi, could you respond to Mr. Poonawala? General Bakshi, can you hear me?
Cool, yeah.
General Bakshi, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes, General Bakshi, go ahead. Why do you have...
I hear you perfect.
Why do you have reservations tonight?
Look, Rahul, a number of us veterans have serious reservations about this scheme. Please, may I remind you of an American adage. If something ain't broken, don't fix it. All right? Your armed forces have done very well by you, faced all challenges from 47 till date. We fought 4 short duration, high intensity conflicts. We fought numerous insurgencies. The only reason for trying to suggest this scheme was that after one rank, one pension, your pension bill ballooned to about over 1 lakh crore rupees annually. As a result, pay and pensions, the revenue budget was increasing, the capital budget was diminishing, and there was this need felt that manpower is eating into our finances, into our defense budgets. So let's, curtail manpower, let's economize on manpower, and let's sort of buy more weapons. Please take a look, as I would kindly request the government, the past that be, I would request Shahzad to kindly convey it from the side of us veterans who've spent years fighting wars and CICT operations, that don't be in such a hurry. See the lessons of the Russia-Ukraine war. The conscripts have done badly. Russia is not short of weapons. Russia is short of manpower. For God's sake, you have ample manpower. It's working quite well. Don't be in such a hurry to create the system, make it stand on its head. For you are facing multiple threats. For God's sake, China, Pakistan, terrorism, insurgency.
No, but General Bakshi, why do you feel that the army's manpower,
we know what's happening, and
capability,
it's all going to start coming to us.
But General Bakshi, why do you feel that the army's fighting capability will suffer?
Look, we have been traditionally an all-volunteer force. We have signed up for our full length of service. We've never had a kind of a conscriptive model like this. Oh, all right, where a guy will come in for 4 years. A guy who comes in for a short NAM tour type of duty is risk averse. He wants to go back in one piece. Number one. Number two, when after 4 years he doesn't find a place, he doesn't get pension, for God's sake, he is not in a very happy frame of mind. You know, we had the OROP agitation, you've seen that. Here you are sending them without pension, so quite obviously they'll not be a happy lot. They could easily be poached upon by terrorists, by insurgents, by separatist organizations. And you are telling me that, oh, you will get them jobs in the CRPF, BSF, ITBP, etc., etc. So far, have they given jobs to any of our retiring soldiers? Has the industry, apart from watchmen and guards, have they ever employed our soldiers?
Okay.
How are you going to create such a new revolution around now too, that you will start hiring these
let
soldiers?
me bring in.
You
Two
release
points.
military trained manpower on the streets.
Okay.
Without absorption potential, for God's sake.
Okay.
Do a pilot study first before you
Pilot study.
undertake
General
such a major
General
reform.
Kulkarni.
Very
General
slowly.
Sanjay Kulkarni. Pilot study. General Bakshi says, do a pilot study. We're not in principle opposed to any reform. Pilot study, don't take a risk with something that ain't broken. Don't fix something that ain't broken. And he's given you some reasons.
Rahul, firstly, thank you very much. And well, whatever General Bakshi is saying, the apprehensions were absolutely there. Till I actually, because all this was hearsay, till I saw the whole thing and went about listening to what the uniform body had to say, because the veterans' apprehensions one side, and the uniform body which is supposed to be implementing is the real crutch, because they are the ones who are going to fight the war. They are the ones who are going to be doing. Now, to be saying whether all of it and how we go about it, that's just something very important. Now, you know, even I thought I had my apprehension, but when you see in the long run, it isn't as bad as it is made out to be. First and foremost, for a very simple reason, that nothing really goes wrong, because the number of recruits or AGNIVEERs, because AGNIVEERs is a standalone thing. The AGNIVEERs are going to be 40,000 AGNIVEERs a year. This is the way the recruitment will be done. This is the new recruitment pattern. Now, out of the 40,000 AGNIVEERs that are going to be coming in, an infantry battalion on and off would get not more than about 30 in a year. So 30 in a year, the AGNIVEERs are not going to change the pattern of anything, and they make not much of a difference. However, having said that, they're going to be there in the service for 4 years. And at the 4th year, when they've completed, the choice is given to the commanding officer to select 25%. That means he selects the best 25% and he retains them as it is. And when it comes to the cost factor that we're talking about, that the cost is this thing, it isn't so. Because now when you look at it, just see the amount of money. You rightly said 11.71 lakhs is the kind of a corpus that is going to get when he leaves after 4 years. Secondly, he's got a non-contributory insurance, 8 lakhs. Should he die in war, 1 crore plus. Should he get disabled, 44 lakhs for 100% disability. So he didn't cater for. Now, obviously, the youth profile, now what we have is about 32, 34 years today, it will come down to 27. Now, notwithstanding that, these are the people, some apprehension that the training is only 6 months to what it was earlier, 9 to 10 months. Well, all that can be catered for. The implementation of it matters. Statistically, data, presentation is one side. Implementation of it is very, very important. Well, apprehensions are there. But now, all of this will not be implemented suddenly tomorrow or day after.
Okay.
It is going to take about 10 years for its implementation, for its completely. And again, what you just said, it's something which can be tweeted. It is not what we refer to as a pilot project. It is virtually, when you look at it this way, yes, the system is going to be there. It can be tweeted for good, should the regimentation or some apprehensions, Naam Namak Nishan will be heard, some apprehensions that things will not fall in place. It isn't so. It is a thing which is in motion.
Okay,
it can be
emotion, it can be tweaked. Okay, let me bring in Colonel. Let me bring in Colonel Nain. Colonel Nain, if selection is to happen after 4 years, the recruits will work hard to impress. So they're not going to just fall over and not do very much. They're going to want to impress and continue with the army.
Rahul, out of these 4 years, 6 months training, 6 to 8 months their chutiyan, remaining time, specialization on some weapon. By the time you finish 2-3 exercises and then he's about to leave. Please tell me, is there any senior officer sitting here who can claim that he can make a soldier, perfect soldier before 5 to 6 years of his service? They have commanded the units. And if they can't, then what are they going to use this force for? For pleasing the youth? If that be so, let the whole structure of army remain the same. We are ready to train the youth for one year. Send them to us. We will make sure that they are patriotic. We will make sure they become very disciplined, but not at the cost of the complete infrastructure which General Bakshi said has proven itself in 47, 62, 65, 71, Kargil. Why are you disturbing it? And who is doing all this? Rahul, 1973, Field Marshal Manekshaw had little bit of tiff with Mrs. Indira Gandhi because he had sent Mukti Vahini inside. General Bakshi was a part of it. To ask him. What happened was, a Defence Pay Commission was abolished and joined into Civil Pay Commission under whom? In MOD. Who is there in MOD? 99% the IS staff, IS lobby. We are commanded by them. And this, see the degradation happening since 73 till now. Please go into details, facts and figures. Today we are disrespected into the civil society. And you are trying to now finish it completely. And people want to just say, okay, fine, good, very good decision. What? Abolish army? Do it. Who is stopping you?
Okay.
But this army does not belong to any political party, not to a single government. This defense forces, this army belongs to citizens of India. Aan Baan Shaan hai uski.
Well, let me tell you.
Please iske bare mein
let me tell you, viewers. Let me tell you.
Those people who are trying to.
This is an important.
We have to now. Time has come when we have to get up together and strike at them.
Strike at them. Okay. Well, we're at a crossroads, viewers. One wrong turn and things can go wrong. General Kulkarni talked about implementation. General Bakshi says that, look, don't fix a system that ain't broke. I can only tell you what General Rawat once told me. And he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, Rahul, the army can't be an employment exchange. That's what he said. I didn't know at that time what he was trying to say to me. One just hopes that the army is not being used to beef up the government's employment figures, because that would defeat the purpose. Viewers, maybe we really need to have more debates on this subject to come to the right conclusions here. I'll leave it at this. The news are follows.